minivan pulled up behind the cruiser. As if the officer had only then realized they were all standing in the rain, he asked, "Mrs. Schrader, would you like to sit in the squad car?" What difference did it make now? She was soaking wet already. Before she could say as much, Art shouted, "Ellen, Jesus Christ, are you all right?" She tried her best to summon a smile for her husband, but somehow her lips wouldn't make the transition. There was something she should remember, but whatever it was, her mind refused to cooperate. Her head automatically moved up and down in a nod that she was okay. Her knees tried to buckle. The Officer Edwards, steadied her. What was wrong with her? Before she could explain to her husband that she really was perfectly fine, except for the fact that the careless old man hunkered under his little umbrella with its one broken rib had ruined her car, Officer Edwards pulled him aside. Art would be very upset that Alton was late for school and that their daughter hadn't had her breakfast yet. It didn't help that Ellen wasn't feeling so well. She swayed again. She really needed to sit down. Art looked from the officer to Ellen, fear or dismay claiming his handsome face. As if he'd only just realized that his wife could have been seriously injured in the accident, he rushed over to her and took her by the shoulders. Rather than pull her into his arms to comfort her, he shook her hard. And for the first time in their 10 years of marriage, Ellen felt afraid. "Where are the children?" he demanded, his voice an icy roar. Ellen frowned. What did he mean, where were the children? The two officers were back at her SUV, searching around inside. This made no sense. Art shook her again. "Ellen, where are the children?" She licked her lips. Her mouth felt so dry. "They're at home, of course. I wouldn't take them to the store with me when—" The rest of what she needed to say eluded her. Why hadn't she brought the children with her? "Who's watching them?" he shouted. "Art, please." She pulled free of his punishing grip and bumped against the cruiser. "The children are fine. I just had to run to the store for milk. I would have been home already if not for—" He didn't wait for her to finish. Her husband rushed back to his minivan and drove away, tires squealing. One of the officers followed in the second cruiser. Officer Edwards took Ellen by the arm, his grasp firm. "Why don't we take that test now, and then we can drive to your home and make sure the children are okay?" At this point, the entire situation felt surreal, like a very bad dream. This couldn't be happening. She didn't understand all the fuss. Of course the children were okay. She would never allow them to ride with her when she'd been drinking. Drinking. That was the thing she'd forgotten. She'd been drinking all morning. Something she'd seen on the news had upset her, but she couldn't remember what it was. Ellen shook off the idea. She didn't want to think about that, or the vodka she'd chugged as if her life depended on it. Disappointment and hurt twisted inside her. Art would be so angry with her. The children would be upset she'd left them for so long. The accident wasn't supposed to happen. She was only going 5 miles to the store and then right back home. Resigned to her fate, Ellen took the silly breathalyzer test. Officer Edwards stared at her funny, and then he announced that she was under arrest. Focused on preventing herself from vomiting, she scarcely paid attention to the rights he read her. The spinning was completely out of control now. This whole shitty morning had been blown way out of proportion. She hadn't done anything wrong. The entire ridiculous episode was the old man's fault. As the officer closed the cruiser door, imprisoning her in the back seat, she watched through the window as the asshole old man drove away free as a bird. The milk she'd bought was spoiling in her SUV, and Alton was late for school. How many times could a child be late for kindergarten and still be promoted to first grade? This was silly. They were all worried for nothing. The children were fine. Ellen loved her children more than anything else in this world. She would never, ever put them in danger. She was a good mother, always careful. Like this morning, to ensure they were fine until she returned with the milk.